Welcome, friends, to Occultists Anonymous and our Rookery show. I don't know, like, how to... I'm going to have to figure out some, like, way to say that doesn't sound weird in my head. But as always, we are sponsored by Roll20, The Onyx Path. And viewers like you, thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting us. And a special shout out to our patrons who support us monetarily. Yes, the bell is in a box and has been mailed. Anybody who's curious, I sent it. It's supposed to be there next Thursday, which means that it should be in Craig's hands to ding away on Friday, if shipping all works and stuff like that. And that is thanks to our patrons who support us monetarily, let us do dumb stuff like buy a hotel bell and send it off to Canada. So thank you to Al, Alan, Michael, Alexander, Algos, Badur, Brandon, Danny, Doc, Emil, Giovanni, Help, I'm the real Drew, I'm not reading the whole thing, Noctal, It's Michael, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Cat Feathers, Lance, Melissa, Michael, Moku, Noba, Perry, Puppeteer, Roivsgrad, Ryan, Schmitty, Sebastian, Cinna, Serranus, which I meant to ask how to pronounce that, but yes, one of our new ones. Terry, the Banty, Thomas, Usuf Sama, Firekeeper, and you got more of that mana, which is Doc. So yes, thank you very much for all your support, folks. It means a lot to us. It's cool to have, and like I said, we can do some extra fun little things here and there. Like we got the art, which is super cool. Thanks, Brenna, again for all of that. And if you missed it, go to the Patreon, go find the comic that Moku commissioned, which has got Songbird punching out a seer, Weird initiating people into her cult/legacy, whatever. It's in a cool bathtub, all right? Tritus returning to Peru with the awesome lantern lamps, torches that draw shadows in. Yes, mine too. Because it puts that family dinner smack dab in the middle, and I love it. All of my wonderful little NPCs, plus these guys, but who cares about them? Judd and Network and Rose are on
really
scene, and Titus. Ones. Almost forgot Titus.
Baby Titus.
Yep. Very good Titus. So, righto. When we last left the Cabal, they had a bunch of balls that they were juggling. Trying to figure out what they wanted to do next. Notably, potential threats of the Paternoster being noticed by Hadramiel, cemeteries wiped clean of deathly ectoplasmic necromantic energies, and no ghosts to be seen anywhere. And I feel like there was another thing. All right, they're still searching for a fifth grimoire somewhere in a Tetrarch's like armory somewhere that they've been chasing.
Songbird has to make a dominion.
Oh yeah, there's just
that one.
Yeah, just a couple little things.
Talk to this person named Lilith. No big deal.
Yeah, one name Lilith, capital L V. Yeah. So cool. So we pick up. If I remember correctly, Atreides had basically gone out to New York's cemeteries, the one that you had visited last with Catherine the Reaper, and had come back for family dinner to kind of unload and share some information. Songbird had last been speaking with Hadramiel, talking about possibly setting up our good friend, her name completely just vaporized out of my head.
Chico?
Insert vampire name here.
Yes. Yeah, vampire. The vampire president, appearing before, and not appearing before, but setting her up as a dominion, which Hadramiel really didn't like the idea of, but felt like something that Songbird might work, and Songbird and Hadramiel then could have a little leverage over the vampiress herself, and so possibilities. As Weird kind of looked on from her new command center of scrying windows, watching all over Manhattan, or probably at least the lower half of Manhattan, probably not all of Manhattan.
Our territory.
Right. Yeah. So lower Manhattan. And then, so you guys meet up for family dinner, which I'm going to assume isn't a mandatory thing, but Titus pouts if you don't show, and he is a 5-dot grade A like guilt tripper when it comes to I made dinner and you couldn't even bother to make to make it in. Like, you have magic. Most of you have the ability to just get here. Just call up Weird, and Weird can get you here. Nobody has an excuse for missing family dinner. But
slaved over a hot stove all day for you.
Yes. Though usually it's not that big of a deal, but yeah, it is probably one of the running jokes and comments within the cabal now that has grown in size. So I
There's
kind
like the idea of our 22-year-old guy dead mother.
Yep, the sleepwalker dating a werewolf. Just saying. He has not been eaten. They're still. It's just casual right now. So, yep. Yeah, the only magic he has is love. pretty accurate.
Cool magic items.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, because he's got the gun that Songbird made for him. Made Songbird feel kind of icky. He's like, I don't get it. It's just gun. How? Where did the Valkyries go? I believe is what Songbird had originally said when making it. Yes, and Titus dating a werewolf is a good upgrade from dating a ghost. Very, very much.
Wasn't dating the ghost.
They weren't really dating.
Well, I mean, in his head, he was, she was his lover. She was his lover. He was whatever. If I saw it written out, it'd make more sense. Anyways, we were at family dinner. Judd and Songbird have they went off and did their sparring. We kind of futzed around on that. Came back from her drama. Yeah, I guess, yeah. You guys are at family dinner. Kind of reporting back. Rose, of course, who went with Atreides, is, freaking out and doing kind of the ecstatic, new mage thing about talking about all the cool stuff that, saw and all these guys in the Avernian Gate. And most of you are going, yeah, been there. Yep, done that. Though Judd, you probably all have noticed that Judd is happily to drink in this stuff because he's a deviant, which is
I mean, we all are in our own ways.
Right, yeah, I was going to say, hang on, let's be so he doesn't quite get that same, whoop.
Okay.
Oh no, it's okay,
He
guys.
posted in chat 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
He'll be back.
So,
That's fine.
For those of you on, watching live, don't worry. Ash and Craig are just in different spots for just the time being because Discord does weird things when somebody turns their camera off.
I was really confused because I noticed my square went blank and was like, what happened? Oh.
No,
okay.
You're just in a different spot. Nope, he's back. Sort of, kind of. Welcome back. So yes, as far as I care, you guys are there at family dinner. You guys have a chance to chat, kind of recoup or recap what you guys have seen, picked up, etc., etc. And we don't have to have actual dialogue.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Basically, I need help.
Sure. We have determined over the past week that we are going to do ghost stuff tonight.
Also, because I can't do anything else here without assistance. Like, I have ideas for what we can do here, and I need you guys.
Okay.
100% on board.
Yep.
Post-cognition with Death Sight, super handy. I just don't know how far back you would need to look, because I'm not sure how long this has been like this. A few weeks, they said. Yeah.
Rebecca said that it had been like 2 weeks since they last saw a ghost or anything like that come down through the Avernian gates.
Yeah, so we have a rough time frame. That and prime site to see if there was any sort of other magic done here.
Sure. Sounds good. Point me in the right direction.
As for like using post-cognition, I've done this before. I can basically weave in a shifting the odds kind of thing to just have me look at significant points in time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been useful before.
Yeah, I was
I'm sure we can figure out what happened.
Just sort of rewind back until you see ghosts here.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to see what happened to them, why they went away.
The only caveat is if somebody has been doing something but they masked themselves or they warded themselves, temporarily speaking, I wouldn't be able to see them.
Well, it would be a clash of wills.
Clash of wills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it's more than I can do, because what I can do is tell you that it's not here, and I can't see why.
Cameo. So the question then becomes, and I'm sure Network and Rose kind of bring this up. Do you guys plan to do that tonight? Because I mean, nighttime seems the appropriate time to go to a cemetery, but also maybe not the best time to go to a cemetery.
Yeah.
Seems like a great time.
No, it seems like totally on brand for going to the cemetery. Right around midnight would be perfect, I think, the witching hour.
Sure.
I mean, that's also a good time to get arrested.
Well, do you get arrested just for going to a cemetery?
I mean, lots of places, public places close at night.
Yep. I think between all of us being multi-adepts, we can handle some fucking cops.
If they even get called, yeah.
That's true.
Time to episode 8 and ghosts. Oh lord. The throwback. Cool. So yeah, in that case, Titus, well, you guys have dinner. Judd is not going. Rose is probably I think Rose, Network, and Titus are probably, and Judd are gonna probably chill back. Titus, is probably gonna walk with Network and do another little patrol. Rose has probably got numerous grimoires and books to read over, as she's super newbie, and she's got some various orders who are reaching out to her, trying to get to recruit her. Because she's newly awakened, and also both the Free Council and Silver Ladder are like, we kind of need an in on that cabal, because that cabal is doing a lot of stuff, and we need to know what's going on in there. Which makes things a little bit awkward for Rose. Not terribly so, but because she's a smart cookie and knows what's up. So you
Free
guys,
Council's pretty chill.
Can I interrupt with a minor incongruent question?
Sure.
Have we taken Network to El Dorado?
Probably not.
I'm gonna say no.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because you'd have to beat the trial, and he's still...
at this point,
he's been of age longer than we have when we did it.
Right, yes. At this point, Network is caught, and bear in mind, some of that is because you guys went out and did stuff. Network, just by nature, is much more of a homebody. He's heavy on the mind and spirit stuff, and only a little bit of space. So he's good at working with people and the environment and stuff like that, but getting out and doing some stuff would be a little bit of a hazard for him. He doesn't have the ability to summon spirits or Goche yet, so he can't bring like an entourage to back him up. So, and notably, since you have brought it up, the council, including the hierarch, has currently, in the past 6 months, sent no one save for the council themselves. The council have all visited, checked the place out. Everybody has come back, so they must have passed the trials. Or I guess like he's
survived.
Yeah, he's could have just noped out of there, just with a teleport. But
I mean, I came back but failed.
Right, that's true. But yes, for the most part, nobody's really gone out. And some of that, to be fair, and actually Tritus would probably know that. Well, yeah, probably just working with Shodell. Shodell has been the one in charge of making inroads to the Mysterium down in Mexico and the some of the different caucuses there. And, Shodell is more than happy to do it, but the Hierarch and, especially Red Dread are very, resigned to the idea of, okay, yes, we're going to work with the locals there and we're going to share access to this place and, things like that. Because the Cabal kind of, put their foot down about it. And at the end of the day,
you can't just run halfway across the world and claim their thing is ours.
Right. Well, and this is where you get into the mage politics, you had it, but you didn't know it. Yeah. And it does get into finders keepers kind of territory. Especially, if you didn't know it and you didn't claim it, it's ours now. But at the end of the day, the Silver Ladder is all about, togetherness of the entire mage community. And so, yeah, if you hold his feet to the fire, especially since Hadramiel is more than happy to hold the Hierarch's feet to the fire.
Create the fire underneath the feet.
If necessary, yes. So you guys roll out to the cemetery. Let me see here. I actually had that. I had some of them bookmarked in my handy dandy map. Let's see here if I can remember the specific name. Oh,
there's only 2.
Wow, Google Drive is chugging today. All right. Where is... Oh, I didn't save them. Okay, so yeah, you guys head to Holy Name Cemetery and Mausoleum, which is a big old place. It's easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks on one side and 4 blocks on the other.
It's pretty big.
So it's a big place. And it's, longish walk from the smaller cemetery that you guys are used to going to. Roll out to it. And actually, because I can, let's see how quick and I can do this. Ba-doop. Yeah.
Production value.
Actually, I'm going to get comments about this, I am sure. But yeah, I'm just grabbing a quick image of it for you guys. So you guys can see what is going on. Just go Google it, guys. Like that. I don't have a good way of showing stuff to you, but yeah, Holy Name Cemetery and Mausoleum. Ba-dow. And
where is it?
Oh, sorry, it's in our little Discord chat.
Okay.
Yes, because I now actually have access to that. Thanks, Discord, for letting us pop out cameras, because now I can actually see what they're talking about behind my back.
It's a nice cemetery.
It is a very nice cemetery. But yes, they're near the fountain circle type spot there. That's where the Avernian Gate is. That is the only source, as you guys kind of roll up, it's the only source of necromantic energy and like all the Avernian Gates, especially for Atratus and Weird, it draws in the energy, doesn't exude it. Say for maybe like a little aura around it where ghosts, can like regain some essence if they don't have if they're not near their anchor. But otherwise, yeah, as Atratus, you get back, because it's been a handful of hours since you were last here.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. And let's see here. Actually, yeah, we'll just go ahead and have all of you make a Gnosis plus Death, or Songbird's case, Gnosis plus Prime Clash of Wills. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Neat.
As I imagine you're all putting on your mage sight once you arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Was Ash rolling too? Oh, there it goes.
Three,
cool.
1 and 3 successes.
So everybody has multiple successes.
Well, I got one.
You only got one, right? How exactly to describe all this for you? Well, okay, so we'll just start top to bottom. Songbird, once you get there, you don't have the Arcana to make out what the heck it is, but you definitely find I guess you can at least know what the Arcana is. A spell of prime, death, and time. All kind of laid over this entire area. It's one of those things, especially once you get past the Clash of Wills, it's like, whoa, how did I not see this like as we came up? Because it covers the the entire cemetery. Craig, you don't pick up anything other than that whole like, wow, this place is devoid of energies, and especially with Bateside on, you're used to, and same thing for Songbird. You come to a cemetery, you expect to see at least some semblance of supernal beings with death, perhaps, and you guys see the same thing that Atreides had seen, which is there's none here. You see like some with matter, a little bit of prime, some of those other kind of entities spotted, here and there, because like I said, they're not like, it's not packed. No place is packed with supernal beings, but this place doesn't have any tied to death. And then, Atreides, you also have that sense of this spell, but where Songbird can recognize a spell because that's what Prime Sight does. You basically can see that somebody has done something to this place, and to use the D&D terms, it's like somebody has unhallowed this place and just undone the death part of it. Actually, the one other thing I will give Chris, because it is part of the Prime side, there's a little part of this, because you can't understand the whole of it because you just don't have all that. But the Prime side, you actually recognize something that you have done before. Somebody has kind of unchecked the little box that says cemetery. There's graves here, there's, grass and all this other stuff, but the cemetery-ness, the graveyardness of this place is just gone.
So, I didn't want to interrupt your
I appreciate that
exposition, but the first thing that Songbird would do when we got close is cast Sacred Geometry on the group of us so that we can see. So we'd be able to see, like, the ley lines and stuff, and I'm kind of picturing there's just this, like, dark area where like the whole cemetery is just like taken offline sort of thing. Yeah, actually,
I really dig that kind of view on it. It's, I think,
like severed.
That's actually where I was going with that. Literally, some of these ley lines that would have passed through, the ley lines, they're not the full huge ley lines, but all the little bits of resonance that would have crisscrossed this place, and it just comes up to literally the walls and fence of the place and just break and shatter to where, okay, this is where like other resonance, from, homes nearby and things like that would feed into this place is just broken. It is an area devoid of resonance. Because I guess it's true, because Prime does have that instead of just spirit. So this place is scoured.
I want to scrutinize the spell.
Go for it. And you're using Prime, I imagine. It has an opacity of 5.
Impressive.
3. Okay, so down to 4.
Down to 4. Down to 3. Still at 3. Down to 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rolls. Down to 1.
That's 6 successes right there at the end.
Sure.
Yeah. That sounds right. I'm just going to give you the revelation for free with an exceptional success. Again, you don't have a great understanding of the all the arcana on it, but especially from the prime
this is pretty much Songbird just trying to rip into it and find out who and what did this and what were they doing.
The signature Nimbus comes across as the feel of like smooth, cold marble, like this, absolutely pristine statue, quality of, and just absolutely rigid and unmoving.
In like a fancy kitchen sort of way, like it feels like money, or it feels like more of an art
side of things. Okay. Yeah, more like somebody's like fireplace, like and signature Nimbus. The primary thing in this is, unsurprising, death.
But what practice is it?
Oh, it's unmaking.
Yeah, I figured.
I guess prime and death are both the primary arcana in the particular spell.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to cast another spell.
Cool. While you're doing that, because you took a little bit to scrutinize a handful of seconds, but is there anything that Weird and Atreides are doing particularly at the moment?
Where's the Everinian gate?
Right there at that little round, kind of fountain circle. Okay. Not exactly sure what it is in reality, but I've decided it's a fountain.
That's fine. I'm going to wander over there.
Okay. Yeah, and with your death sight, you can see into that twilight. You can see the big, iron gates, and considering the environment and stuff like that, I imagine it has a kind of twisted, the heavenly gates, but darker kind of thing. A little bit more barbed wires and stuff like that. And it definitely looks like, something designed to keep the inmates in, as opposed to welcome people to, to heaven itself. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as Atreides had mentioned, there's no gate guardian. There's no guardian geist or anything like that. It's just these gates that are shut closed.
Let's turn the math for reach.
Sure.
I don't think I need instant cast, right?
Depends on what you want to do. For you, it just takes half an hour to cast a ritual spell. And then if it's safe for Ash to say something and Layla's done, what does Ash up to? Or try to
She's finally been quiet. There were children screaming outside.
How dare they?
How dare they?
She's laying down on my feet now. I am basically just letting you guys look. Now that I know there's a spell here, I guess I'll check it out more.
Mm-hmm. You can scrutinize it if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that. It's Death and Gnosis, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And for you, also opacity 5. Okay, so 3 successes. 4.
Difficult.
Okay, so through the first one.
So now it's a 4.
Mm-hmm. And there you go.
3. How many save rolls do I have?
8. Down to 2.
2. Down to 1. How many times did I roll?
7.
5, 6, 7.
Cool. And then one more to reveal. I don't know why I even have you guys do the reveal roll, but why not? Sure.
Because I always fail.
It's true.
Yeah, because you might fail.
You could do a dramatic failure. Yeah. So looking over, you get a lot of the same thing that Songbird had. You get that Nimbus, and the one extra little thing I'll give you coming from the death side of it.
What is the death aspect of it?
Is that, like, obviously it is the unmaking practice, and it looks like the whole of this was, especially since you don't yet have Death 5, but this reminds you of, because I'm sure you've studied it, the Create Anchor spell, but like reversed. And just unanchoring this place and making it like inhospitable to ghosts.
Okay.
And Craig,
I'm
what
just
do we cast?
I'm just working on the duration. I want to make sure I got that right. Because it's a potency spell, so I'm going to need some minuses for duration, but I can add more yantras for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
when
does the things go sour? When do things go sour here?
2 weeks is what Rebecca had said was the last time a ghost had been around.
All right. I'm trying to veil into peel back the veil into something that somebody else has done. Would my dedicated magical tool be applicable in this case?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So I reworked it.
Okay. So we have reach for
Advanced duration.
Okay.
Advanced scale.
Right, to get the whole area.
Mm-hmm. And the scrub.
Okay. Cool. Then one free reach, because it's time, and Weird has a lot of Arcana and a lot of Gnosis, but still just do time.
It's because I don't want to make a life too difficult for my GM. Storyteller.
So 7. Okay, so couple things. Actually, no, I think we're good. Because that math works out for yantras. Cool. So 7 minus 6 is 1 plus 8 from that. Yeah. So 9 dice.
All right. And because I'm doing postcognition, my mirror kicks in.
Yeah. With the what do we have on that? 8 again.
8 again. Mm-hmm. So that's 7, 15, and 6, 9. Mm-hmm. And 8 again.
Cool.
2 successes. 9. But you're going to want to do... should have had you do that first. I'm overreaching.
Oh, indeed you are. Mm-hmm. So that's 3 dice per overreach. But you're using your dedicated magical tool. So we were at 6 down to 4.
I'll throw 2 mana at that.
3d10. Cool. Roll your wisdom. Which is now 8.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on. There we go.
There you go. So yeah, take that 1 bashing wound. Cool. Then I need you to roll a Gnosis plus time plus 1.
Gnosis.
As you clash.
I can't roll.
Oh, actually, you can, because it is it is a spell. Mage. Yeah, you're a mage. And I actually lied, because you put -6 on the duration, which would be scene, week, month. Yeah, so it would be a
scene,
plus.
day, week, month, year.
Yep. Yeah, you really loaded up the duration.
Well, advanced duration gets me scene, and then I pay for month. Day, week, and month.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
I forget it's not a duration spell.
Yep. So, yeah.
Roll another die.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and throw your willpower at it, you can, which would be another 3, and then another...
1.
Yeah, 1, thank you. So...
Okay, so I'll do another 4. 6 successes.
Yeah, seems good.
Wow. Okay.
Seems probably effective.
Okay.
but it's somebody's is veiling themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And like eyes roll back in the head, and she can't, like she's zoned out.
Wait, why am I doing it like that? I have this spell.
Sounds like it's at least 10 dice.
It is. For only 2 successes. Okay. So yeah, you feel some kind of veil over this effect, but push through, even with your, puny 2 Arcana. It's a big beefy spell with that duration, and then throwing your willpower at it. So you pass through, and so where are you starting your post-cognition?
So I'm starting at, I want to scrub back to the last time I see a gate guardian, or scrolling backwards the first time I see a gate guardian.
Okay, cool. So you're starting basically now and working backwards.
Yeah, just flipping real quickly.
Cool. So you scry postcognate, whatever.
Yes.
Backwards through time, and you are seeing yourself there, and Travis and Songbird walking in, zipping backwards. You see Travis and Rose walking about, or possibly just driving through, and it keeps going. You get, the sun revolves, and then your spell just stops. About 2, we'll say 8 days ago. And because you have a high gnosis, your potency wears out because of the temporal alignment. This is casting on here, and now you can see
So
what this place is now,
be.
but to see farther back,
right? Because it's gone through a significant change. I didn't count for that.
Yep. Notably, it does give you a pretty sharp timeline of 8 days ago.
Okay.
And as I pull up my book to make sure I give you the right...
Can you not cast on just the physical location?
Mm-hmm. You can, but basically...
And I did, but the supernal aspects of a physical location are still part of that location.
Yeah.
But the dirt is the same dirt.
Correct.
But a dirt that's suddenly anaerobic. Right. It's devoid of all
the same
microbes.
matter.
Yeah, and it's I mean, they actually basically unchanged, which is what we're talking about. Okay, cool. But a street after hours of foot traffic, or a building after days of habitation. It's the difference of temporal stuff as opposed to space stuff. This dirt is the same dirt, and so that would apply. But in this particular case, we are actually talking about I think probably a medium change, an item that has been broken or built a street after several businesses have changed. So you're up against a withstand of 2.
All right. 8 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I come out of the spell and I look at it, try to say 8 days ago, rub my hands together.
Do this again.
Try again.
Okay. This is going to get expensive. So,
you don't need all their points for duration.
Well, hang on. It's a potency spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you took that into account?
So you've got 2.
So I'm going to need 4.
You need to take minus because the withstand is 2. So you just need a -2 to bump past.
Okay. You can roll the exact same spell with 7 dice.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, I'll give another shot.
Sure.
There'll be another withstand.
Just have some more paradox.
And some more paradox.
Mm-hmm. How much many are you going to throw at it?
2. I'll contain.
2. Okay. So just one more. Wisdom roll.
Roll 20 is attacking.
Cool. So yeah, another bashing wound.
Mm-hmm.
And then another Clash of Wills. Oh, I guess technically I should let you go ahead and roll
3.
your your 7 dice for the spell.
For the spell.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oof.
So you are rolling 5, 6, 7, 10 by default. And then if you want to throw 13, if you want to throw willpower at it again.
What?
Hey!
Yes.
Six successes on 13 dice. Very nice. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm ready for you this time.
Whoosh.
Nope.
You find yourself, back a little bit beyond 8 days and playing forward up to the event. And, now that you know exactly what you're looking for, you find a ritual happening, a awakened ritual in the middle of that, or around that Avernian gate. You see 4 figures that are blurry and indistinct to you. It reminds you of the invisibility spell that you've seen Songbird use, where notably, actually,
yes.
Yeah. You would see, these odd motions and shifting. You're not quite able to make out what they look like, but there's objects moving, and you're hearing high speech. Whoever they are just basically hiding themselves from cameras, or, more mundane security. But yeah, 4 of them spaced out around this, and they're casting some kind of spell. With your mage sight, you're not quite able to tell what, other than, it does have death and time in it. And I guess, you can figure out that, obviously it's got prime. But you watch as they spend 2 hours on this ritual. And then there is...
Chunky. Chunky.
And then there is a significant snap where you see everything shift and move, and you hear, because Death Mage Sight, you hear and see a streaking swarm of ghosts just ripped away from the graves where they're resting. A huge pile of them being dragged out of the mausoleum, and the Geist Guardian, or the Gate Guardian, who you've never seen before, I don't think, but he's the obviously big one who looks chained next to the Avernian Gate, is the last to get kind of ripped in and dropped into like a sports bottle, and just a bunch of ghosts crammed and sealed away into like a bottle, a little plastic bottle. You watch as somebody tightens the lid down on it. They look around. We done here? I think so. And then they kind of separate their own way. You hear vehicles starting up in the distance. You can, if you follow one, you can...
I wouldn't be able to get outside the outskirts of the graveyard, right?
Right. But, I mean, you would be able to follow them to see,
See the cars.
Right. Who are
License
driving cars with, various, you can make them make and model. There's no license plates on them. They've been removed. And they drive off.
Of course they have.
I can't see their faces.
No, basically the only way you can tell that they're there is a little bit of peripheral mage sight tingling, and the fact that occasionally they're moving across dirt and, scuffing stuff. You know that they're there, the bottle getting moved and the cap being screwed on and stuff like that.
What was the temporal aspect of the spell they were casting?
It definitely
do
looks...
I know the practice, or... Like, were they trying to take the graveyard back to a point in time before it was consecrated? what was the time aspect of it? Or was it just to mute it, like to shield it from scrying?
For now, we will go ahead and say that, yeah, you can definitely pick up that there was the veiling aspect to basically prevent people from looking back and seeing what had been done. They veiled themselves for immediate invisibility, but then also were trying to protect themselves from people coming to see what they had done. Exactly what you're doing. And you said, fuck that shit, I'm kicking your Clash of Wills down the fucking curb.
Okay, so Weird starts walking.
Weird, come back.
She can't hear you.
Yeah, I was like, didn't take that reach.
I'm following one of them to, like, I freeze it and, like, I follow them to where their car was.
Mm-hmm.
And as the car drives away, is there any traces left behind?
Nope. That would be another... Well, actually, Death Mage Sight would let you know they have... I can't remember.
Without a trace.
Yeah, without a trace.
Well, but is that spell on their car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're not dumb.
Yeah. Very, very quick, like, no dice rolls necessary. This looks like a bunch of mages who do that they would be up against other mages coming after them for this.
And go back to the gate. Is the gate still... Does it look dead after they're done?
The Avernian Gate?
Yeah.
From your death sight and from what like Atratus has seen and stuff like that, the Avernian Gate looks like untouched or unaffected, I should say. But
They're not messing with the other side at all. They just stole all the ghosts.
All right.
I'm going to give Weird Prime Sight.
Oh. I dig that. Okay.
So that she can study the Nimbus and get a space connection.
Can you study
I'm struggling
Nimbus?
to see what we do with this information.
Can you study Nimbus with Prime Mage Sight? Because that you can't cast spells there.
I can't scrutiny, but I can see the Nimbus. It's not. I don't think it'll be enough to give me a connection.
Well, I mean, if you have your Mage Sight on when they cast the spell, you can definitely see the Nimbus that way.
Mm-hmm. I can identify the Nimbus, but
from the spell that's still here.
Like when I come out.
There's an active effect here.
Yeah, you mean once you're out of post-cognition.
Yes.
Okay. I was still thinking of Weird in post-cognition.
So I dropped the spell.
I just wanted to talk that into the world before Weird went further into whatever she was planning on doing, because I had this idea before the post-cognition.
There were 4 of them. They were very careful, left no traces. They were invisible. I could only see them by the effects they had on the world. They conducted a ritual, lasted 2 hours, and sucked all the ghosts, including the Gate Guardian, into a bottle. And went their separate ways and drove off.
And
cool, because
Chris,
a big beefy potency spell would leave that Nimbus around for a while.
Indeed.
And a mage's Nimbus has a strong connection to them. Medium? Yeah, okay. No problem. I'm just going to throw 8 dice at it and be like, Weird, take a look at this.
Yeah, whoomp. Here, Prime Mage Sight. And I guess Weird hasn't...
Have we done this before in your site? I know I've given Apocalypse, but I can't remember if I've given...
No, because the only time I think... Because I know Pip did it with Spirit.
Spirit to me.
You've given us Prime Sight before. You let us see ley lines. Or no, maybe that was a different spell.
Just a spell.
You give us you did Apocalypse on us before when we were arguing about our different arcana.
That turns you into a Brimo's vision.
Yeah.
This is
Prime.
This is still Weird vision, but Prime.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. you need to scrutinize? I'm not going to stress this. You guys can take some time if necessary to scrutinize and pull that same nimbus or connect that spell. So yes, if you want to use correspondence, I believe it's correspondence.
For sure. That might get a little tricky, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, the withstand on that is a potency of, or a withstand of 2. So you need a potency of 3.
I've got it's a potency spell. So I start out at 3, right?
You have
4. I start
4.
out at 4. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to throw just Gnosis and borrow threads is going to be the issue. So you can decide which way you want to do everything, but correspondence will let you find the connections, and then you'll need to do borrow threads, which is a duration spell. That's the one that's going to be withstood.
Yeah, I don't need anything fancy on the correspondence.
Right. Yeah, you can just throw 9 dice at that. Got plenty of reach for it.
I'm trying to figure out what the spell they did was. It's like Soul Jar, but for ghosts.
You will not find it in the book.
Yeah. It's Soul Jar, but for ghosts, yeah.
Something similar. Cool. So yeah, with that, you reach out and find the connection from the spell, because the spell is ongoing.
And there should be 4 connections? Because it was a group effort?
No, because
from the person who cast it, yeah.
Right, it's going to be the ritual leader. Everybody else is basically a bonus. I'd have to go dig up the book and see, but I think it's basically just one nimbus.
If I copy the connection instead of taking it, are they able to trace it back to me?
Remember, connections are one directional. So you are going to steal the signature, steal the sympathetic connection from the spell to the mage.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not going to do anything for the mage connecting to the spell.
Okay.
I was muted.
So
I typed.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Should be no difficulty. Not a lot of difficulty. Do I have any potency I need to worry about?
Yeah, because it still has the withstand. If you're manipulating that connection, so it's withstand of 3, and it is a duration spell to borrow threads.
Okay, so
you need a -4 on the potency at least.
And just figure out reach. And advanced duration. Yeah, I don't need to reach the spell, just advanced duration.
And instant cast, I guess.
And instant cast. Oh, actually 4 each. That's right. 5, 4. I'll need 4 potency, you said?
Yeah. -4 for potency. Because it's already at 1, you need 3.
Rapier applies, right? This is definitely an adversarial relationship I'm exploring.
I mean, it's just you and the spell. I don't think it quite gives you that +1.
Okay.
Don't think you're really going to be hurting on yantras, though. Cool. Hang on. -6 for duration? How long do you need this thing to last? It's already a duration spell. You've got space 4, so you've got
Yeah, it's a.
I was like, wait a second.
Duration spell. Okay.
Well, ignore the duration part. Yeah. So that's.
So I've already got it for. Yeah, sorry, I'm still new to this whole space thing.
So 12 dice.
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
Want some mana back? You're going to take a condition.
I think we'll take a condition.
Cool. We will say, we'll just leave it as a floating condition. You let me know when you think it applies. Just this way I'm not trying to fight stuff. We'll try and do that since now you guys are going to take conditions for condition's sake and not for beats. So that'll hopefully help. So yes, you have a connection to this mage. What was that, Chris?
Yeah. As soon as I see that Weird's done, I'll like double check. It's like, you got the connection? You're good?
I'm good.
Okay.
It's a permanent
dissipation. I'm going to rip this spell to shreds.
So just be aware, there was a clash of wills for me to do the post-cognition so they know that we're watching. They would be aware that I pierced through their spell,
unless they untied the spell. If they don't know already, they will in a second.
Okay. Now I wonder if that's going to release the ghost in the jar.
Probably not.
Well, their anchors are gone, so if you release them, they'll just go to the underworld.
Into the underworld.
Which is honestly better than I was worried about. I was worried something had just destroyed them. I mean, they might be destroyed by now. We don't know what they've been doing with them.
How big a scale do I need for this? Or I'm just targeting the spell, so I guess not.
That's true. A really big scale, would that have a larger size? I'm going to say no for the time being. But that is a potential thing to bring
point of wiggling.
Yeah.
For future reference, maybe think about, but yeah.
Because otherwise supernal dissipation ever is you give it 6 potency and you can just get rid of any spell you see.
Well, it is their Arcana rating.
Right. That's true. So if you get up with an Archmage.
So along those lines, I have put a -6 penalty here.
Okay. Cool.
Just in case. So
roll that 10 dice.
Looks like it.
Yep. And then we need a little paradox. I'm just going to let it ride.
I'll contain it.
Sure. Oh.
It's going to be 2.
Hmm? Oh, are you throwing your dedicated magical tool at it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can just give me 2. That's fine.
Yeah. Reroll. Same thing I do to you guys. Make you reroll. So.
Okay.
No paradox.
Cool. So 10 dice.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So yes, Songbird freaking. I, for some reason, I have this very Thor kind of thing of reaching up into the sky, just grabbing the spell and just wrenching it.
Yep. Very, very much so. Just kind of just ripping the heart of it out.
Immediately for Weird and Atratus, you have a sense of the cemetery returning back to its normal deathly, spooky, ghostly state. Ghosts don't spring up out of nowhere or anything like that. But the plasm that a sin eater might collect and stuff like that feels like it's, spreading again. And the world seems to be shifting back to normal at the cemetery.
Yeah, it's just still empty because all the ghosts are in a bottle somewhere. And their anchors are gone, right? You said they mass destroyed them? Or was that the spell sort of severing them?
Let's see here. Would it be a lasting thing? Yeah. Yeah, basically this place is now devoid of anchors. All the graves, all the, vases and urns and stuff like that.
It's unmaking.
Yeah.
Unmaking is not generally a non-lasting thing.
Sure.
So, necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
What would they use a whole pile of ghosts from several different cemeteries for?
I don't know.
Well, there's this cool little idea that this one guy had. You want to roll intellect plus death? Or maybe
Sure.
cunning plus death.
Cunning?
Cunning? What?
Cunning's not a thing.
Sorry, that's Scion. I've been reading Scion way too much. Wits.
I mean, it's the
Cunning's
same
a
role for
werewolf
me.
thing.
Oh, yes. Cunning gifts.
I got 1 success.
1 success. I mean...
I might have a little bit of an idea.
You have a little bit of an idea. I mean, at the end of the day, similar to spirits and things like that, like having them on hand to be commanded is of use. You also have, the idea of using them as essence batteries and just pulling essence out of them until they just shrivel away. Yeah, like you have the Bubba Gump moment where you can do this with ghosts and this with ghosts and this with ghosts. There's a broad variety. Most of them are things that Detritus would not be pleased with anybody doing. But yeah, I have to admit that you could do a bunch of these things. Some of them are more terrible than others.
Most of them are bad, especially in this number.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can find the people who did this, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I assume we're going to go check on this other graveyard and probably do a similar thing.
At least erase the spell if you can to make it a graveyard again.
Cool. What's your roll on there? Gnosis in time. Weird.
Just a quick divination.
Mm-hmm.
How big a deal is this? I'm thinking this isn't just for people building a mana battery because they've hit several graveyards. Are they doing this for something really big? Like Ghostbusters, End of the World sort of level?
I'm trying to think how the spell would come back to you. I think the answer basically comes down to this spell is part of a greater plan.
Mm-hmm. And not just like a commercial plan or a bunch of little things. This is a bigger deal. Okay.
Yeah, it is a step of a process.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're just making mana batteries.
I mean, I figured they wanted them for something, and it's probably not great. Can you see if they're planning on doing this more, or if 2 cemeteries worth was enough? Is that a divination question you can get an answer to?
Divination questions are usually have to be aimed at a subject.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, do have the sympathetic connection. Could cast this on the mage on the other end. And
but they would know, yeah? Or no, we decided they wouldn't. It's a one-way connection?
Well...
Depends on if they have space.
Yeah, if they have space.
That's probably how I would
and
run.
also... Actually, yeah, I guess... I don't... You are casting the spell on the mage because you're asking a question about their future, so they would know.
Okay.
Yeah, the stealing the connection part, they are not the subject. The subject in that case was the spell, so the mage is unaware of that. Maybe unless the mage had ward. So
regardless, they know somebody's onto them. So yeah, I can hit him with it.
Cool.
I think I'm going to want to throw some stuff into this one, though.
If nothing else, you have to get past the sympathy of it to be able to cast at a distance. Real quick, while Craig is potentially working that up, do you guys hop back in whatever vehicle you came in, head to the other cemetery.
Yeah.
And Songbird, you're just gonna whammy that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you can just do the same damn spell. Just throw some 2 paradox at
dice.
that. 2. Oh wow, yeah. There's Zippo, and you've got 10 dice. 5 successes. Away it goes. You want mana back, or it does cost mana for the lasting effect, right? Yeah,
Yep,
1
I'll take mana back.
Okay. So technically 2 mana.
Do you want to give me a chance die for the paradox?
Nope. It's a full die.
Nope. It's a one die.
Why?
Because
So the kid magic is the one
5.
I'm spending a mana.
oh, so if you spend a mana, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Buckus.
Okay.
And then you're rolling.
Rolling.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. No, I was looking over your spiel. Cool. So potency -6 and divination is a potency spell. So you had 2 potency to begin with, plus 3 more. So, oh my gosh, 5. And then what was that connection? So you have 3 potency. So you have 3 questions you can ask.
Are they hitting another graveyard? Are they going to hit another graveyard?
I think that one just comes back as yes.
Are they acting on someone else's orders?
Yes.
Can you find out where they're going? Or did you not get the specifics?
I treat this kind of like Wish. You ask a question, that's the answer you get. But that would be a valid question.
What is their next target?
Cool.
What will the next target be?
Sure.
Phrase in the form of a temporal question.
Yeah. The historic Jersey City and Harsimus Cemetery.
Okay, this is part of an organized effort. They're following orders, and I know where they're going to be next.
That's the one for the
Fantastic Society.
The Margos Party was.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, we don't have a win.
No, we don't have a win.
We maybe should have looked at the other cemetery and seen when the spell was cast there. Because we know the one we were at was 8 days. You get like a space range.
You can still use post-cognition to go back and see what happened.
Find out when they cast that one so we can get an idea of how long in between.
Mm-hmm. You could. Post-cognition. It happened back then. I can still go look.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Craig, just go ahead and throw Gnosis plus time at it.
See when you get stopped.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, actually, now that the spell's gone, everything is back to normal. So this one comes back. It was 10 days ago.
Okay, but they still haven't hit the Jersey City Cemetery yet, because I was just there.
You were just there.
Unless we go there now and it's dead. Or they're heading there now.
I mean, quick, Jersey City ain't that big.
Yeah, let's go. Is this still functioning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's like just pulling up, driving by, death sight on, you can see the Gate Guardian. And Gate Guardian's the only one there these days. Okay.
What? You want to what?
Warn him.
You want to what? Okay. Can we
help with that.
Get a stone or something? From the cemetery?
Know, can you? Yes, you can pick up a rock from the cemetery.
We still don't really have a way to... I mean, I guess I could ask Gabe to stay here. Then he could tell me if some folks show up.
I think that's a really bad idea.
Gabe is really
There's
fast.
no other way to communicate between us and them. We won't get here in time. Honestly, well, it's a long
I'm taking a flake off a gravestone.
Are you just going to keep a scry open on it at all times?
Yeah, and I can get us here instantaneously.
We just do a stakeout. Good old-fashioned stakeout episode.
Both of those
and
work.
Press fast, and then we, the players, press fast forward until they get there.
Like
you have options.
Skyrim.
If you tell Songbird that you want to warn them, like are you saying you want to warn off the mages?
No, I want to warn the gate guardian that there are people coming to steal them. That we have figured out what's being done here, and that you're the next target.
Okay, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were saying like wanted to, because I want to put up a sign, basically, like the size of the whole graveyard says "fuck off." You're not welcome here.
You want to do that? Sure.
You want to extend our territory?
I mean, it's not really extending territory so much as we don't like what you're doing and we know you're there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like if we can, at the same time, though, these are really nasty, strong mages.
I mean,
so are we.
These are Death 5 mages.
Could have been a Fate 5 mage. Like
a Death 5 mage can rip your soul out. Okay. Like your soul.
Okay.
I mean, you guys got Thaumium. It's fine. How many spells does it grab?
What?
The
as
Thaumium
many as you have mana in the pool for it.
Right, which I'm trying to remember
5.
how much. 5? Gotcha.
Asking for Songbird's help and then telling him to not pick a fight is like, what are you doing?
I mean, if you want to do a stakeout, sure.
I want to help your friends.
I'm nervous about who we're picking a fight with, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let them do that here also.
Yeah. I mean, come on, you're a mage. You're in charge. You know what's going on.
Just be prepared for a nasty fight.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna cast, like, was it invisible
runes or
invisible
rune
runes?
Or...
I cast explosive runes today.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's this silly thing? Yeah, invisible runes.
Where is my spell that guards our souls? Soul armor.
Yep.
Can we soul armor the ghosts in the graveyard?
They don't have souls.
They don't have souls, yeah.
Yeah. You could do a death shielding spell to protect a ghost from magic, yeah.
Well, actually...
Or a prime shielding.
You would have to do prime shielding.
Yeah. I can protect us from ghosts. But...
Right. Yeah, so I'm going to cast this big spell.
Sure.
And I'm just going to throw some dice at it. Because this is literally just a nothing spell.
Oh, that was the 8 dice there. Yep. Cool. And just a big invisible runes.
Yep. And it's just like...
Nazi mages fuck off.
Yeah, basically. There's like little bits of our like symbolism worked into it.
The Rookery cabal symbols.
Like signed the Rookery sort of thing with like some feathers worked into the rune and stuff like that. And it's basically just like, hey,
we see
this is a bad idea.
Do not approve. I dig it.
Okay. Did you roll this? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. The soul armor I'm working on, it's a duration spell.
Mm-hmm.
Any spell or effect that would remove, manipulate, or injure the subject's almost first when a clash of wills. How do I up the clash of wills? Increased potency.
Duration.
Increased duration.
Advanced potency, the reach will give you a +1, and thereafter, the only way is to increase the duration up to indefinite, which gives it a +5.
5.
Okay, because my reaches, I've got instant, scale, duration, and potency. Yeah. So I got 4.
Mhm.
Covers all of us and gives it a +1. I need to write down how many pluses I'm getting. What does that make the Clash of Wills?
Gnosis plus death plus, in your case, if you do it indefinite, +6.
And that would be indefinite. It's another reach as well.
Correct. If
It's just another reach to make it indefinite.
1 reach and 1
You have
mana.
to get to -10 and then spend another reach.
And 1 mana. So, or you can just leave it at a year and it's a +4.
Yeah, so that's minus what? From the
What,
duration.
to get to a year?
Because the
You get
duration
that-
spell.
-2.
Right, so you already have it at
Duration.
-2. That's done.
Okay.
Scene, day,
I have
week, month.
4.
Oh,
4
right.
dots of death.
Yeah.
It's -2 to get to a year.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
Yep. So
8,
6,
5 is
11.
13.
No
2
problem.
successes.
Womp.
And so that Clash of Wills is a
5.
Gnosis
Plus 5.
death.
+5.
Gnosis and death +5. So,
13.
+6 if you
9.
want for advanced potency.
Oh, yeah. Plus
oh yeah, I did. So 10. Okay. On our souls.
Gnosis plus death +6 is 10 dice. What?
14.
Or, no,
Because
it's
it's
more.
Gnosis and death
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
8. Baseline. 1 for the potency. 9.
Yep.
And then.
That's beefy. You got this.
And can throw willpower at it if necessary.
Mhm.
My soul is guarded. Our souls.
All right. And then by stakeout, do you guys plan to, park the car and hang out? Or how do you plan to do that?
Take a flight from a gravestone and I can cover the whole place in the vid window.
Sure.
I mean,
Unless
you
we
guys
want to, stay here and eat donuts and drink cold coffee. I'm totally okay with that too.
I mean, find an Airbnb that's like a block away and rent it. What are these resources dots doing,
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably an Airbnb here because it's right next to New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I actually take that. So yes, you use your once per chapter resource dots. Snatch your. No, probably not even because it's because you've got 4 resources.
3.
3. Okay. Yeah.
I imagine a hotel room for like a night is a dot.
Right.
2 maybe.
Yep.
Maybe I don't know that.
Hmm?
You can get like an iPhone with a 1 dot resource, it says.
Oh, sure.
Mhm. Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yeah.
Well, then it's a nice Airbnb.
Yep. And then so you guys get a nice little nearby location. Though, of course, as soon as you're in, Greg can go blop and throw up a scry on. Now, the downside of that is if you put up a scry, then somebody can, if they have space, could perceive it, and anybody, their peripheral mage sight is going to go off, knowing that.
Well, we've
there
got runes all over the place anyway. So.
Yeah. That's already
Yeah.
that's already taken care of.
Right. My point is these are the the questions, and you guys let me know what you are doing. You're putting up a scry? Cool. If all right,
they're gonna know we're here, roughly.
And is Gabe going to chill there, or
I'm going to keep him with me if we've got the scry window up, because I was wanting to have him there to
for instant communication.
Yeah, basically to be able to be like, hey, they're here, ping back at me, and I know that, but we don't need that. So
cool. All right. How far is the Eben Dart from the cemetery? It's a short-ish walk. I'm trying to remember. Where's the Eben Dart? 2, 3, 4. Call it 5 blocks. It's not a terrible walk.
Oh, I do have a question. Can I put my necklace into Twilight with a ghost gate and store it there?
Oh, yes, you could totally. You don't even have to use Ghost Gate. I don't think. I thought there was a thingy.
No, there's one that when you put things into Twilight, when you get them back, they're now shadow. The Ghost Gate that we cast directly on a thing lets it go into Twilight and then come back out as a real thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking of Touch of the Grave, where you can pull something in Twilight out. Right.
Yeah, you can stash it away, but when you pull it out, it's now shadow.
Yep.
Because I don't want to risk Gabe's anchor getting destroyed by these guys.
Cool.
I'm taking a magical tool, which sucks. No, I have a second one. I have a hammer.
But yeah, you don't, because it's not your dedicated magical tool anymore. It's just Gabe's anchor.
Oh, it undid that? Okay.
Unless you
I thought it just dedicated the second one.
Yeah, unless you take the process to dedicate 2 magical tools together, which has some perks, some pros and cons.
Which you should never do unless you take the merit for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Drawbacks are fucked up if you don't cast, because like if you have 2 dedicated magical tools and you don't cast with both of them, you generate more paradox.
Okay.
Just standard.
Yep.
Because part of your magical identity is missing from the imago.
Yeah, I also didn't want to like just leave it at this house unattended.
Sure.
So
I dig it.
Can I just say I do that?
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about you rolling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost Gate is something that you probably at this point do like regularly, because Songbird is like, hey, I need this perfected material. And you're like, oh my God, leave me alone.
Give me 3 days,
like 10
I guess.
minutes of your time every day.
10 times a day, every day.
And I'll just check in with Titus, open up a Groovy window and just let him know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, so you check in with Titus, let him know what's going on. Network, mentions, okay, cool. We're like Titus and Network are the 2 that run the shop when you guys are gone. And if there's anything we need to do, if you need to call in the cavalry, we'll let somebody know. You just let someone. And Titus is like, I mean, I can shoot somebody if need be, but like that's last resort. You guys are the heavy hitters after all.
Guns are super effective.
Especially his.
Titus, just keep your pistol handy, and if you find yourself suddenly standing around in a gravestone, shoot people that don't look like us.
That's very, very true. Co-locate.
We need to watch our tones and voice and specific word usage there. Shoot people that don't look like us, maybe not how we want to present ourselves.
Rito, think with your dots you could buy an apartment in New Jersey, yes, but then he would have to own an apartment in New Jersey. Podcast folks, that was a disgusted face. Cool. So you guys set up at the Airbnb. The night passes into morning. Everything is kind of chill. Boredom strikes eventually.
I mean, I'm definitely getting some stuff done.
Oh, sure.
Here and there. And
yeah. Well, and the other thing being like, with, Weird being able to open a co-location somewhere. It's like you guys could, move about, but having, being there physically, definitely.
Yeah, our Airbnb can basically be a closet in the workshop.
But wanting to, be on hand, especially if, Weird happens to be, caught up with something or other. but yeah, that first night passes into the next day. Actually, what time is it? Oh, it's 7:26. Wow. Yes. So night passes into day, passes into evening again. You guys have like ordered out. Well, actually, no, you haven't. Titus is literally passing food through a co-locate window. Be like, here, guys. But at Weird, especially, I imagine, is focused on that scry window. Songbird is probably drawing up plans and, half paying attention to the window while working on a sword and shield. But yeah, that night, a trio of vehicles, different from the ones that you had seen before, Weird, but all of them have their license plates removed, pull up to the...
Snap my fingers, get everybody's attention.
Sure. I'm trying to remember what whatever, it doesn't matter. The fence line of the cemetery, and 4 shimmery, weird, semi-transparent, well, fully transparent figures kind of step out. Again, the reason you can even see them is more the disturbances that they're causing and not necessarily their actual figures. Somebody has rolled up on the historic Jersey City and Harsimus Cemetery. And the cabal is going to roll out and kick somebody's ass. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe they'll talk first. These things have happened. Yeah, Songbird's here. Shoot first, ask questions later. Or punch first, ask questions later.
Punch first, ask questions while punching.
That's true, yeah. So yes, thank you all for joining us as we figure out who the hell is messing with the Jersey City ghosts. And why? Well, we don't know the why, but we kind of, sort of know the who. As always, come by, join us on Discord. That's yeetinto.space. We were so happy to have you. Come chat with us. Come ask questions about how Mage works. Come tell us about your own stuff. Tell us about your vampire campaign, your werewolf campaign, your mage game. We'd like to hear about those. We have a bias towards mage stuff. Well, okay, some of us have a mage bias. I think others have developed a werewolf bias. Not pointing any figures. Werewolf is
don't
pretty
know who
awesome.
You're talking about.
Werewolf is pretty great. And then, of course, if you want to support us monetarily, that is staylucky.club. You can put in patreon.com/occultists anonymous if you really want to, but that's boring. And then, Twitch guys, we'll see you in a couple minutes. YouTube guys, we will see you on Friday.
Stay lucky.